a few goals and did not imagine that through my business I will be doing notary signings, and that would have really scaled my business in just a year. And in full disclosure, just through notary loan signing, I did about 40 to 42,000 through direct loan signing. Good afternoon. Today is Sunday, January the 30th, I believe, 2022. And I wanted to come online to we're getting so many questions about what a notary signing agent is. So I'm hoping that this video will kind of answer those questions, and also just how you can maximize your side hustles or add some additional income to your current income. So hopefully this will be helpful. We are going to talk about notary loan signing today. You can do it literally in every state. So we really wanted to just give you some information about how you can really gain a substantial income as a notary. And one of those ways are through notary loan signings or becoming a notary signing agent. So we'll go ahead and just run the list of what it is and how you can benefit from it. What I would say is there is a small cost associated with it. I know you're like, there's the catch there. But listen, I promise, do it at your pace. Do it at your financial means, but I can guarantee you will make that money, that investment that you put into it through becoming a notary. It's a small fee. I think we'll talk about it. It's about $50, and also getting some insurances to protect yourself, so people aren't suing you and coming after all your stuff. So you definitely want to just stay tuned to that. But I want you to know that it is doable if you're on the lowest income, or if you just have money to blow. You can just certainly take your time and do it as what works best for you. What I would say in general, without some of the supplies you might need once you actually get started, you're paying for your commission through your state. It varies from state to state. DC, it was $50. You're paying for your insurances. So with your commission, your state typically require you to get a security bonds, and that is about $50 too. So there you have for your state is $100. To actually take the course with National Notary Association, you are going to range based on what you need, and if you're going to get your supplies through them. Obviously, you have to get the seal, right, to be a notary, and that runs you based on what kind you want. I have a pink one, so I'm a girly girl, as you can see. We're here in my bedroom, but and I have pink behind me. As a grown adult, yes, I like pink. So mine is pink. I paid a little more for that. It again ranged from about $30 to $65 for your equipment that you'll need, right? So there you have it, another at the max $60 to $70. And then the course, they range from $70 to $259, whatever your preference is. Go surf the website. Don't look at just this video. Look at all the other videos that kind of just explain to you how to do it the cheap way. But it is a cost associated with that, because you have to become a certified notary signing agent through the National Notary Association, and their courses range from $70 to $259. And within those packages, you can get a various of things, including study guides and that sort of thing. Very, very simple exam you take. I think it was about 20 to 40 questions. Open book exam. You can do it in a matter of 20 minutes. You can do it in a matter of 5 hours. You can keep taking it every day until you pass it. It's so simple. But that course, you have to finish the course to even take the exam. So that's how they get you. But there is an expense there, right? So you are paying for that course. And my sister, who did it not long ago, maybe about 8 months or so ago, she did the cheapest one. She did $70. She did all her research, looked at so many YouTubes, and she just was like, I got this information, and if I don't, I'm gonna call my sister and she gonna tell me, so I can just pass it. I'm not paying $259. So She did it that way, and she passed it flying colors without a guide. I think she said she got the guide in her $70 course. So go for what works for you. I can't tell you what works for you. And if you're paralyzed by taking exams and that sort of thing, it's completely just up to you what makes you feel most comfortable to get it done. So there's that cost, and then on the latter part, and I believe that's all the costs up front before you are officially a notary signing agent. But there's minor, very minor costs like getting blue pens, because 99% of your signings will require you to sign your documents in blue ink. And when I was doing research on it, I went to the Dollar Tree. I went to the Dollar Tree. I was like, I'm not investing in something that I'm not going to love and all of that sort of thing. And once you become familiar with it, once you start to love the work that you're doing, you'll invest in your business. You'll invest in your brand. You'll invest in that sort of thing. But that you don't need that starting off, right? So what I would say is you might have blue pens around the house. You may have kids in high school. You may be a retiree and already have an home office, and you starting with 5 blue pens. And if that's you, well, that's completely okay too. So the minimal of cost on the latter end, and we're doing, as mentioned earlier, we're going to do a 5 series to how to just benefit as a notary loan signer. And one of those series will talk about supplies and just how to get it at the lowest cost and what you may need starting off. But what I'll tell you is that is the basics to just becoming a notary loan signing. Your responsibility as a notary loan signer or notary signing agent will be to only go get wet signatures. Yep. It's that simple. Like, that's simple. You are literally only going to someone's home to have them sign some documents. The course will tell you what those documents are. In this series, I will go over a few, what I say to just get the meeting done with. That you're literally only reading some information to them, very minimal information you're reading, very minimal, like the title minimal. And then you just kind of have to understand the documents enough to answer some questions, right? So you need to know a little, but I got you. I'm going to help you out here. Subscribe, obviously, if you want to hear more information, how I have been able to scale my business through the notary or notarial services alone, right? My business do other consultant, my business do other things in terms of advocacy, and this income is different from that I'm doing with my business. So what I would say is to just start, and only start with just becoming a notary. Your notary commission will last you, I want to say 5 or 6 years. See, I don't even know all the answers to that. All I knew is that I went to go get it because I knew it can bring me a little more money. When my mentor told me a little bit about it, I was like, girl, tell me more. Do tell me more. Tell me more, because I definitely need the additional income and how I can scale my business even more. So it's a little bit of money up front, but don't be worried about that. Listen, the tax season is coming around. You can do it through your taxes, and you may very well just decide to be commissioned for the first 3 months, right? Do all of that sort of stuff, put out the money for that. And then another month or so, when you save some more money, you do the notary loan signing. I mean, you do the National Notary Association course, so you can start to get out there to do the signings. I have an ebook that tells you how to make your first $500, and I won't promote it here until you have been through all of the steps, and a lot of the things that we talked about in that ebook, I am going to just talk about them in this form through these series for how to be a notary signing agent. So I'm hoping you guys stay tuned. This I know that I'm super nervous because this is one of my first YouTubes, but I just cannot hold this information to myself. One of the first places I went when I just started to do the research, obviously, was YouTube. So I want to just contribute to that community, and giving as much information as possible on my journey, or what worked well for me and what I've shared with other people that has been working for them. So I'm hoping, again, that this is something that can be useful to you. If it is, subscribe so that you can get more information. Until then, lovelies, see you later. Bye-bye. So this is an opportunity to just tell you guys more about what it is. I also blog through mytruthlieshere.com, where it's a lifestyle blog that looks to just kind of elevate and grow partnerships through the community and just people in general. So I do a bit of consultant in that aspect. Some of the basic questions that we get is just like, what is a notary signing agent or a notary loan signer? A notary signing agent is that it is a notary who does loan signings. A notary obviously is a person that has been commissioned to do authenticating in their state. And that is the absolute first thing you have to do as a notary. You have to be a commissioned notary. Now, how do you go about doing that? Each state is different. But you will just simply Google how to be a notary in your state, and that information should at least take you to a .gov agency. That's the first one you'll click on. Don't click on all the ads. Don't click on National Notary Association. Although they have a means to doing it, it just costs much, much more. If you really want to take the least expensive way to do it, you just Google it, find your .gov. Sometimes it's in the Office of Secretary in your state. There's sometimes a sole commissioned office within your state. And in that, I'll try to link in the description bar what that will look like. And I'll link what the District of Columbia is, so you can kind of gauge it from your state to see if you're on the right track. So typically what is required to be a notary is that you have to at least be 18 years or older. You have to have not been a felon or have a criminal background that will prohibit you from doing a background check, because a background check is needed. And then you have to pass a very simple orientation/exam. And I say orientation/exam because it's essentially based on wherever state you're in. It could be a PowerPoint, it could be a pamphlet they send you via email, and you use that information to just take the test. Extremely simple. When I say very, very simple, so simple. I remember doing this a little over a year ago, and I was on my family vacation where we were with a whole group of kids, my nieces and their children, and my sister and my nephew, my daughter, obviously. And I was in the Airbnb doing the exam in the bed at midnight after a full day. So it's so simple, you guys. Don't let the fear of an exam scare you away. So that is what you need to do. And then there's a small fee. I think our fee was $75. Some states it's $50. If you decide to go through those ads that you'll find on Google, they will certainly show you how to do it, but then they'll upcharge you an additional $100 or so to just get the information, and it's just not worth it. It's so not worth it when you can just do it on your own. So this way, it'll just kind of keep you honest and just doing the work, doing the legwork. So after you become a notary, you do have to go through the National Notary Association, because that is where many title companies, lenders will look to see that you are certified to do the work. And they too require a very, very simple exam. You have to purchase the program, unfortunately, and this is how you kind of continue to keep your costs low. They have a $70 package up until into a $259 package. I encourage you to do the $70 package. The package will afford you your certification to do the loan signing, and that is essentially a 1.5 hour course where you will get information about like what documents you're signing, what you should say during signings, and what your legal position and role is as a notary loan signer. So it's required. So if you can keep your costs lower on the front end, you can spend that money in areas that you may need a little down the road. So you can choose your package. The package will include, based on the package you receive, you'll get your background check, you'll get that 1.5 hour course, and then you'll also get access to their database. That is the biggest question I get when I'm actually out doing loan signing for people who may be interested or people that we talk about it too. The first question is like, how do you get the work? And one of the first ways, there's a multitude of ways to get it, but the first way you get it is through this Signing Docs platform, which is allotted to you after finishing that notary course. So those are the top things that you'll get. Although other packages will give you more options, like they'll give you a study guide, and the study guide is essentially when you take the 20 to 40 question exam at the end, it's open book. You can Google the answers. I can't tell you how to get the answers if you don't get the book, but the guide will tell you down to the page where the answer is. So it's worth getting if it's something you really, really struggle with in terms of exam taking or just being paralyzed by the thought of exams. So that's something to consider. But after you receive that, you get this access to this database where you're just able to promote yourself, and then lenders are just looking for notaries in your city to do their loan signings. So what sort of loan signings you'll do? As a notary, you can notarize anything that requires a state notary, right? So you can do wills, you can do trusts, you can do medical directories, power of attorneys. There's so many things that you can do as a notary, and through the work, I do get other work that someone may just need a notary and will reach out to me directly. Your state, I know everyone thinks notary as like the old school way where you only could charge like $3 or $5 for your stamp. Now that is true. Each state is different. Some people only afford you per stamp to charge between $3 to $7, but the money is not there. The money comes in when you have to print a document for someone. You get to choose how much you choose to charge someone for printing the document, right? So you can say, I'll charge somebody $20 to print that one document, and only the $3 for the stamp, or only the $5 for the stamp. Completely up to you. If you're a mobile notary, which as a notary loan signer, you will be a mobile notary because you're going into everyone's home, or you're going into the title company or the real estate office to do their close. So you are going to be a mobile notary. So you get to choose how much you charge for your time and your expenses to get to that location and the time you spend there. So that's kind of where your money is coming from. So I've had opportunities where somebody may only needed one notary stamp, and I will charge them $25 to just commute to them. Or they may need it the document may require 3 stamps. And if I'm charging $5, that's a $15 just for the notarizations, and whatever I choose to charge them to commute to them. Now, when you say, do you have a standard price for how much you charge someone to kind of go to their location? No, because someone who lives 3 minutes from me, I will charge maybe something different than I'll charge someone who I have to commute 20 5 minutes away from me. So I do not post prices on my website or anything of that nature, just solely because it varies. It varies based on the circumstance. So I encourage you to do the same. But now I kind of went on a tangent, but just in general, what you need to know about notary loan signing is to just get started, right? To just get started, you need to become a commissioned notary. You need to be a certified notary loan signing. And again, you do that through the National Notary Association. I'll also put that in the description in this video so you're not losing that content. On that site, it'll tell you to indicate the state that you live, or the state that you're commissioned in, and then they'll walk you through what the requirements is for each state. Now, here's a disclaimer. There are 4 states that require a titles insurance, which is one other entity needed outside of your notary commission and your notary your certificate to be a notary signing agent. And Maryland is one of those states. I'm not sure right off the hand the other 3, but it requires another course, like another class you have to kind of sit in to do the work there. So that's a disclaimer. It's only for 4 states. Any other state, you only need those 2 things. And in that National Notary Association, they will give you the guidelines for your state. So the other piece to notary loan signing is insurances, right? So your state, based on your state, will require you, when you become a notary, to get a bond. That bonds will secure you for about $5,000, a security bonds, and for about $5,000, but you're only paying, I think, $50 for it. So that's another cost associated with being a notary loan signer, right? And then on top of that, to be a notary signing agent, you have to get insurance for errors and omissions. So say, for example, you are closing on a $500,000 home or $1 million home. You want to be secured if you make a mistake or an error that will stop that signing, or stop that someone can come after you, right? So it requires you to, at the bare minimum, have a $25,000 insurance, errors and omissions insurance, or E&O insurance. And you can all, mine is through the National Notary Association. It just made sense to get all of those insurances with that particular company, because when I have to update every year or every 5 years, depending on how often you decide to do your insurance based on your money, right? So a 1 year is only $30, where 5 years maybe $135. And if you're doing this to keep the costs down, start with a year to see if you even like it, right? To see if it's something that is benefiting you financially, and then you can choose when it's time to update it to extend it for longer years. So I would just encourage you to just kind of do your research and do what works for you. What works for me may be different than what works for you, but this video is just solely just to kind of give you information about how you can just get started. Just get started. Don't get in your mind about you're not going to know the documents. You're not going to understand what to do when you get out there. Listen, I am going to do a number of series doing for notary loan signing or notary signing agent here on this platform that just gets you very comfortable. I have gotten quite a few people actively doing this sort of work, and I wanted to share this to the masses. So I am hopeful that this would just bring a lot more income in your day-to-day, or in your to your goals that you're setting. I have a few goals and did not imagine that through my business I will be doing notary signings, and that would have really scaled my business in just a year. And in full disclosure, just through notary loans, notary about 40 to 42,000 through direct loan signing for my business. And that's significant, you know, to not think about where this money will come from. You could have a goal to purchase a home, or get your down payment for your home, or to pay for school, or whatever it is. This can be a revenue to really pay down debt, to get it started for you. So listen, subscribe so you won't miss the next topic in this series. Again, this is just to introduce you to what it is. What are some basic steps you need to know to get to that point? And hopefully it's helpful. We are going to do a 5-part series in this, and this is just the first one, and it just tells you how to become a notary signing agent. So hopefully this is helpful. If it is, subscribe so that you can certainly get more information about this.